Hello, all you adorable fluff butts out there. Kit the Souls here, and I had a thought while I was walking to the gas station this morning to get myself breakfast. One that's been rattling around in my noggin now for several hours, and I figured it's about time for another rant. So, today I want to talk about the concept of Hanlon's razor, or the idea that one should not attribute to malice what can be explained with ignorance. And I know some people are going to probably assume that this is just a fancy way of saying, hey, there's a lot of stupid people in this world. And guess what? This is actually a fancy way of saying, yeah, there's a lot of stupid people in this world. And the problem with that statement is you might not realize that you're one of them. So let's have a talk, shall we? Now, I'm going to approach this through a hypothetical. So let's say you work in a supermarket in retail, and you're crouched down stocking shelves, and about 10, 15, 20 feet above you is a sign that states that this is the aisle that the coffee is supposed to be in. Knowing all of this, you would assume that most people would know that there's signs up there golden. Somebody then comes up to you while you're working and asks, hey, do you know where the coffee is? Now, there's really only two thoughts you could have in this moment. One is the assumption that this person is only asking you because they want you to stand up so you have to crouch back down so your knees hurt, and that they're doing it out of spite to try and harm you. Or you can assume that maybe they were on their phone and didn't look up, or maybe they're new to the store and they don't know the signs are there. You really only have two options. You can go off on them and tell them they're an asshole for asking because they should have known better, or you can politely say, yeah, this is the aisle that the coffee's in. There's actually a sign right up there. Now, for me, the option there is 100% clear. I'm the type of person that's going to be polite and tell them, hey, this is the aisle where the coffee is. There's a sign, yada yada. And give them a smile while doing it, because I'm not going to assume that everybody in the world is out to get me. But for some reason, it seems like a lot of people, especially on the internet nowadays, do. And I can't fucking understand it for the life of me. And no, that's not to say that I don't understand how somebody could start thinking like this, because I've been there myself a couple times in my life. I know how easy it is to fall into that mental trap when the social media algorithms are the definition of fear-mongering, and when news outlets are nothing but hyper-partisan political bullshit instead of news. I understand that aspect of it, but at the same time, I can't understand for the life of me why anyone would consciously choose to continue living that way once they realize that the only thing it causes is anxiety, depression, and pain. See, from my perspective and my own experiences, this way of thinking and this way of living breeds this sort of paranoia that makes it impossible to assume anything except malice in the actions and intentions of other people, and to me that's stupid. This is sort of one of the reasons why I believe these philosophical razors exist, and Hanlon's razor is no different. It is a reminder that you shouldn't attribute to malice what can be explained by somebody being ignorant or just straight up being stupid. Now, this also isn't to say that there aren't malicious people in the world, because, trust me, there are. There are some people out there who only want to cause pain and suffering, but assuming that anyone whose beliefs don't line up with yours or whose way of life isn't identical to yours is one of these people? Honestly, I see that as a form of stupidity, and I see what the world is going through now as a form of, well, sort of mass psychosis. And the reason I say that is because we see it a lot in the world around us, especially on the internet. This mentality of, you're either with us or against us. You either comply and obey, or you're an enemy worthy of destruction. And the problem with this is that it is a mindset that requires you to assume malice on the part of anyone who doesn't agree. And quite honestly, it's moronic. And yeah, I know, not everybody is going to want to be that guy with a differing opinion in a room full of zealots, because honestly, it's terrifying, and it can be dangerous too. But At the same time, you have to ask yourself, why are you in the room full of zealots in the first place? Is it because you actually truly believe the same things they do? Or is it because you are searching for a place to belong, and that seems to be where everyone else is going as well? Now, with that thought in mind and philosophical razors in hand, I want to pose a new way of thinking, or a new philosophy to all of you, and that is, what if it's not a bad thing to be considered an outcast by zealots? Might it be possible that thinking for yourself will be better for you in the long run than just blindly following what the rest of society does? Because I can tell you from my perspective, having, abandoned social norms almost a decade ago, both the furry community and, quite honestly, the world at large seems to be running headlong and full tilt towards a cliff, and I, for one, I'm not willing to follow the ideologies that they do if it means jumping off that cliff eventually. But that's gonna be it for this one, so if you want to let me know what you think, leave a comment down below. But until next time, bye-bye, mlem.